What is up, everybody? Today we are ranking the top 10 best Arrowverse season premieres. You might question, what is Arrowverse? Comment down below any property that is in this, and I'll have an in-depth explanation for you, or just have an explanation. But anyway, I don't know when. I'll have to look at my release schedule, but there will be a part 2 to this with the worst 10 Arrowverse season premieres. But I do want you to know this is my opinion. A lot of viewers would differ. If comment down below your top 10 Arrowverse season premieres. But I'm rambling, and let's roll that intro.
We're gonna be alright. No one ever dreams about the problems, but every life has them. You and me.
Thursday, September 28th. In destiny will begin. Along with it, your soul.
I'm a nobody.
I hate to burst your bubble up, but you're not a nobody.
She appreciates that I'm the devil.
I'm guessing this isn't gonna end well.
Could you accept who I truly am?
Dad's on a hunting trip. He hasn't been home in a few days. I swore I was done hunting. For good. I got work to do.
This episode is a really good episode, Supernatural. I'm in season 8. I think it might be one of the best episodes still. But this episode introduces these characters wonderfully. It sets up the whole series, and their plot points from this episode are still continuing into like season 6 and 5 and stuff like that, which I think this episode sets up the series perfectly, and that's just why it's so great.
It's the day of the meteor shower. This is how you came into our world, son. What are you trying to tell me, Dad?
A small town on the edge of innocence.
Who's there?
It's me, Clark. I'm used to people judging me before they get to know me. I don't want anything to stand in the way of our friendship.
Sometimes people can surprise you.
We are the future, Clark.
A young man on the threshold of destiny.
We wanted to protect you. Protect me from what?
Michael Rose.
This episode is another episode like Supernatural's pilot, where I know this show has been on for like forever, but you don't really hear much about them. This episode, I'd call it a perfect episode of television. It introduces everybody perfectly, sets up the story for the rest of the season, introduces the two main characters, the two best characters of the show, Clark and Lex, and their dynamic, and we just see the beginning of the future.
We should take this slow.
We've been taking it slow for 4 years. I know your secret. Don't touch me!
You're my friend. Tell me the truth.
Season 5.
This episode picks off right where season 4 left off, and I think this episode, it has Clark in the fortress for the main part. It has him discovering the fortress in this episode. It has Lana Aliens plot, I don't know, but it introduces the Phantom Zone in this episode. In this season 5, really starts Lex's villain train, his way to become a villain.
You need to prepare yourselves. Mary? I made you a new suit. May I take it for a spin? Flash is back.
This episode was just a fresh new start after season 3 and how dark it was and the bad reception it got, which season 4 would get even worse reception, but and you can just tell by these pictures on. The feeling season 4 gives me is a feeling of comfort and just brightness. It makes me feel good, and this episode I think is just really great. I don't think everybody thinks that, but it just brings me comfort.
Where am I? You're in the Speed Force, Barry. Oliver. The anti-monitor is at the dawn of time. He's extremely powerful. The 8 of us might not be enough.
Oh my God.
Crisis on Infinite Earths, the CW's crossover.
This is the final episode to the amazing crossover Crisis on Infinite Earths was, and it really, it doesn't end it that well, but I think it's a great episode either way. With all the cameos at the end, with the multiverse still existing at the end, I think Oliver's sacrifice wasn't for much if the Anti-Monitor is still going to be kicking around this episode. But this episode brings together our heroes for one last time and introduces the Justice League.
Season premiere event. He left behind the ones he loves. Smallville is not a part of my past. No matter where he hides.
Honey, you can't save someone who doesn't want to be saved.
No matter what he becomes.
I found Clark.
Do you always betray the people you love? He can never deny his destiny.
I love you.
Get out!
So this episode, Season 2 ended with Clark leaving to Metropolis after being influenced by red kryptonite, which he mainly is in this episode, and if you saw the trailer, he's acting like a dick, and Clark is just, it's a great episode. We see Clark hurt everybody he loves, and we see Lex on an island presumed dead, and this episode just sets up a great Season 3.
No one can know what I've become.
Oliver Queen is alive.
You came back from the dead. This calls for something so epic.
He was wearing a hood, a green hood.
We'll put out an APB on Robin Hood.
This pilot sets up basically the whole show of Arrow within the first 5 seasons with the flashbacks. It opens on Oliver getting off the island, which would be the ending to season 5, which I think is beautiful, and that makes this episode even better. But this episode by itself, with Oliver first starting to be the Hood, is amazing just because of that. It's the pilot to Arrow, an amazing show.
This is coming. What you said is right. We're facing the destruction of pretty much everything.
Good luck.
This is the night that we have been waiting for. This city will be ours. Oliver.
Now, this is the last season premiere for Arrow, which has so many parallels to the pilot because they went to Earth 2, which is really great for this episode. It helps it so much. We get Prometheus as the Green Arrow, and we see Moira Queen and everybody on this Earth and how much has changed, and the story on this Earth is amazing, and Season 8 is probably one of my favorite seasons.
Kneel before Zod.
Clark Kent, this is Jimmy Olsen.
Whoa. Grow 'em big in Kansas, don't they? Smallville. All
This episode happens right after Season 5, after Clark gets trapped in the Phantom Zone, where he doesn't have any powers and he has to fight his way out, where Metropolis is getting, it's a battle, it's a riot, because Zod has inhabited the body of Lex Luthor. And Zod hadn't been introduced, this is just his consciousness from the future, and it's just a really great story and a really great episode. It's just great.
I need your help to catch Martin and anyone else out there like him, but I can't do it without you.
I have something that might help. It's made of a reinforced tripolymer. Its heat and abrasive resistant. if I'm not a hero? What if I'm just some guy who was struck by lightning?
I don't think that bolt of lightning struck you, Barry. I think it chose you because you can inspire people, watching over your city like a guardian angel, making a difference.
This is a legendary episode and should be counted as one of the greatest episodes of television. There is nothing bad about this Flash pilot. It does everything amazingly. This pilot drew me into the world of superheroes, which I am surrounded by today and everything, and the world I love, and I wouldn't be here without this pilot, which is amazing. But really, that is my ranking. If you have any comment down below your ranking, I would appreciate it very much. Also, something I would appreciate, you don't have to do though, if you would subscribe, like, and comment, man. Engagement, I would love that. I'll respond to you if you comment down below, man. But that's really all I have to say. Going down the description, follow our socials. You don't have to if it's just too complicated. If you go on my Instagram, I got a haircut. It's not sitting right. It's my hair's straight now. I got it on Tuesday, and it's Wednesday night. But you can see what my haircut looked like if you go on my Instagram. And that's really all I have to say. There will be a part 2 to this later sometime with a verse 10. But anyway, I'm rambling. Stay safe and goodbye.